I am in the process of making dinner, so I figured why not have you guys tag along and hang out while I start to make dinner. I was actually just in the process of doing that. I'm starting to cut up my produce here and everything, and I thought to myself, why not go on YouTube Live and have people join and see how this is made. So I am making, there is a Vietnamese sandwich called banh. And again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing this, called banh mi. It's essentially a sandwich or a roll that has a protein, pickled vegetables, herbs, things of that nature. So it's I guess you can say a dupe or inspiration version of the traditional sandwich. So instead of steak, I'm actually going to be using fish. Guess I can turn you guys around so you can see what we're going to be using. So we have cilantro over here, and then we have diced up cucumbers, coleslaws in here. We have sub rolls over there. Typically, this recipe, at least from what I've seen, people use steak or some kind of red meat. I'm using fish because I'm trying to lower my red meat intake. And then we have mayonnaise, we have seasoned rice vinegar, we have sriracha in this container, and then we have beef concentrate. So I am in the process of cutting up the produce. I'm actually I'm on the next item, which is the jalapeno. So I've cut up the cucumbers. We have coleslaw also that's in the bottom of the bowl. So with the jalapenos, you just cut it thinly into thin slices. The cucumbers, I cut a cucumber in half and then diced it down. So that is the step that I am in. And yeah, so while I'm cooking, I figured I would introduce myself because if you're new, I'm sure many of you that tend to join the live are new to even my page, my channel. So my name is Chiamaka. I have a YouTube channel here called Pockets of Protein. And the reason that I created this channel is because, I don't show this too much on YouTube because I figured YouTube can be the food part of my life, but fitness is a very big part of my life. I work out, strength train about 4 to 5 times a week. And when I was starting my fitness journey, I don't even know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, one thing that for me anyway, bothered me was the fact that I just felt like the narrative about health and wellness when it came to food is that it needs to be quote unquote as clean as possible. Now, I understand the premise of that, but visually it just wasn't appealing to me. Very bland food. The broccoli, ground beef, and rice life is like every single day is not for me. I'm West African, I'm Nigerian. I love flavor, I love variety. I just never want to feel like I need to be caged in when it comes to food. So, as I was starting my fitness journey, I decided that why not make a YouTube channel, and I show some of it also on my short form platforms as well. Just like high protein dupes, protein is the focus, obviously, because like I said, I work out pretty heavily, 4 to 5 times a week. But having protein be at the focus, why not show people that you can still very much eat the things you like, even like your indulgences, but just like maybe using substitutions and swapping things out, you still get the craving fulfilled and you're still eating that in a way that's in alignment with your goals. So that's where this channel, Pockets of Protein, came about. It is a cooking channel, but I guess you can say it's a cooking channel specifically based like with protein at the focus. And so when you go through my page, you can see there are videos of just different recipes that I've made, or like meal prep videos where I try to show a little bit of my personality, because the channel being focused just on food, you don't really get to know who is behind the camera. And so I do lives like this and like my little funny shorts here and there just so that I can humanize the YouTube channel. So if that sounds like something that, that you're into, or something that you feel resonates with you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And yeah, I'm an easygoing person. I'm a very unserious person. I like to have a good time. I'm pretty goofy, or I like to think I'm pretty goofy. Um, so yeah, and like I said, I try and do lives like this, and like some of the YouTube shorts, just to show who I am, besides obviously the person that's cooking the food. Anyways, so with that introduction done, so I've added some olive oil to the vegetable mix. And so for those of you that are just joining, there is jalapeno peppers in here, so cut up cilantro, cucumbers, and coleslaw mix, which is at the bottom. I'll make sure to include all the ingredient amounts and so on in the comments when this live is over. I try to do that because I don't know if people ever go back to lives for like a step-by-step tutorial, especially if they want to go back and make something again. So what I'll do now is just add like a little bit of salt. Okay. And then I'm not sure when people join, but we have seasoned rice vinegar here. And so we'll add that in. And then let me get a spoon. We'll just mix everything together. So this is going to give the vegetables like a pickled taste. It's not going to be cooked. It's fresh just as is. The only thing that really will be cooked of this recipe is the salmon. And then I guess the buns. I'll put them on the pan to toast, and then that'll be it. This is like a very quick recipe, and that's what I like. I actually like all recipes. I feel like the ones that are more intricate also allow me to just try something new, see how well I can actually cook something and learn from it, and then try again. I used to do that with, there's a recipe that I have on my YouTube shorts for shakshuka. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's a North African dish. Absolutely love. And I used to order it all the time going to Mediterranean restaurants. And so I tried my hand at it the first time for brunch, to make brunch for my boyfriend and I. And it was okay. But then I made it a second time, a third time, and I was like, okay, I've mastered it. So I like cooking all things. I'm a foodie at heart, so. All right, so that's all mixed. So now we are going to start on our salmon. And let's see, I just want to make sure you guys don't think I'm ignoring you. Hi, AJ. I don't know if it's AJR or AJ Jr. or just AJR people. Hi, Simon the One. Hi, Brian 56. We are making, so it's called banh mi. It's a kind of like a Vietnamese sandwich. It is a Vietnamese sandwich, so this is like a spin on that. Typically with this dish, I've seen it made with steak, but pretty much it's, you have your bun, you have your protein, and then pickled vegetables. Sometimes herbs are included as well. So that's what we're making. So what I will do, I'm just gonna add a little bit of oil here. And then I'm going to add the beef concentrate to the salmon. Let me actually bring this over so you guys can really see what's being made here. So we'll add the beef concentrate to the salmon. And then what I'm gonna do with my hands is just break up the salmon into small pieces with the skin on. And then I'm sure it will continue to break down even further in the pan. Just want to make sure the salmon is evenly coated. Are you a chef? Or are you just testing waters? I'm just cooking dinner. Just cooking dinner, making a relatively high protein, healthy dinner for myself and my partner. All right. Take off the gloves. Now, we'll go over here. And we'll add the salmon to the pan. And then let me get a spatula. And we'll just cook the salmon down. Make sure it's cooked all the way through. I'm just going to turn up the heat on this. Thank God, I thought you was going to. No, I would not eat it raw. Can you try narrating in a British voice? No. Not even that I don't want to, I don't think I can. All right, so now, while that cooks, we'll make our sriracha mayo. So, it's just, okay. All right, so we have our small thing of mayo. We're just gonna add some of the sriracha, not even some, all of the sriracha to it. And then just mix that together. And then we'll end up lathering the buns with that when they're toasted. So back to the salmon. When I first found out about this recipe, I thought at first, like, well, isn't it just like a typical bun? Or, like not bun, typical sub. And I think it's just the vegetables, like the vegetable preparation that makes it banh mi. So I said, okay, let's try. See how it comes out. All right. And now I am going to, let's see. One second, I'm just gonna end up transferring the salmon out. All right. So now, so I'll just lower the heat. Just transfer this to a bowl. I'm making a mess after I literally just wiped this stove down. All right. And then what I will do is add just a little bit more oil, enough where it's well coated, because I'm gonna toast the buns on here. But what I've noticed is that with the stainless steel pans, if they're not well oiled and I put any kind of like bread product, it sticks. So, and there's 2 buns going on this. So, all right, we'll let that heat up, and then we'll end up toasting. Let me just remove these out. Okay. And I'll end up toasting these. So these are the kind of baguettes that are used for the banh mi sandwiches. They're pretty small, but they're filled with, like I said, like the protein and everything. All right, so I don't think I can. No, I'll just toast it like this. Yeah, see, it's even starting. Let me see. Let's see. Yep, so as you can see there. But I mean, it gets a little bit brown, so maybe I won't press it down, but that's what it looks like. Let me try and scrape some of this off and then continue. Okay. Good enough. All right. Now, just a little bit of oil, like I said, to coat this. I may even like lower it to the lowest setting. Interesting. Yeah, it definitely is interesting that these always burn on, well, not burn, they just stick easily to the stainless steel pans. If this is on a non-stick pan, then obviously, I mean, there would be no issue, but I'm just always wary about the things that they use on those type of, on those pans and so on, to make them non-stick. So I'd rather just use stainless steel. I love banh mi. Oh, awesome. Yeah, this is my first time having it. But I said before, I have seen it made with steak, and I'm using fish. So, all right, I think that's fine. Okay. Let's turn this off. Turn you guys around. and put together our sandwich. All right, here we go. All right, so we'll add on the, okay, I don't know why I'm using this plastic knife. Okay. Okay. So we've applied the sriracha mayo to this. All right. Now, let's add the salmon. Shift things over. Okay. Just make sure that this holds up. There we go. Okay. And then we add, I just mix the vegetable. Oh, not it falling apart. Here we go. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. I have something that will keep this together. I mean, it's meant for tacos, but we improvise here. All right, there we go. Now, we add the vegetable. And that is literally banh. It's pickled, so the vegetables have like a salty, tangy taste to it. But then your protein underneath on a baguette bun. Okay, where's the other one? This one is broken, so I guess this will just have to do. So let me take you guys off of the tripod so you can really see up close what we're working with. So this is what it looks like. Literally pickled vegetables on a bun, lathered with sriracha mayo. So quick dinner, not much. And yeah, it's high protein. It's still, I'm assuming it's delicious. And like I said, I'll make sure to include all the ingredient amounts in the comments in case you guys are interested and just want to know, like, quantity wise what you need to make this. So thank you for joining the live, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you all have a great evening ahead. Take care. Bye, guys.